Okay, then I'm predicting the Arizona Cardinals record prediction. So looking at their rosters, the Cardinals roster does not look good at all. Um, I'm quite worried about their defense specifically. Like other than Buda Baker, like Jalen Thompson, Bunting, they don't really even have any good players on their team. Buda Baker is really their only like above average great player that they have. They have a couple other above average play, but other than that, they're not that good. Um, And looking at their offense actually doesn't look that bad. I mean, they have a good quarterback in Kyler Murray. I think Kyler's going to do good this year. James Conner's a good running back, and Marvin Harrison Jr. should do good. Trey McBride is good, but other than those four players, I'm really worried about their offensive line and anybody outside of Marvin Harrison Jr. in the wide receiving room. And I know Gannon had them playing hard last year and leading them to a few wins, but I don't know. Their team does not look good this year. I'm thinking they did it not exactly slightly better than last year, but not that good. You have your first game versus the Buffalo Bills. This game is not going to go well for the Cardinals. Um, Bills are a Super Bowl contender, even though the Bills lost to Stephon Diggs. Josh Allen should easily be able to run over that Cardinals defense. I'm going to take the Bills here. Then you have Week 2 versus the Rams. The Rams almost always dominate the Cardinals, and I don't see that changing this year. The Rams have very talented offense, and that should easily get them the win. I'm taking the Rams here. Yeah, them versus the Lions. Similarly, Lions Super Bowl contenders. They're very well rounded. The Lions should easily win this. You know, Week 4 versus the Commanders. The first game where I think the Cardinals have a chance to win. Um, Commanders, they're in a similar boat. They're also rebuilding, but I think the Commanders do have a very good offense with Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin. But I think the Cardinals have more better players and a more experienced offense. Both these defenses are trash. I expect a shootout, and with home field advantage and a more experienced quarterback, I gotta take the Cardinals here. The Week 5 versus the Niners. Similarly, Niners also like do well versus the Cardinals. Although the Cardinals do play the Niners tough, but Niners they're Super Bowl contenders. I gotta take the Niners here. Then you have them versus the um, Packers. Packers, another team that's a playoff bound team. I think the Packers, Jordan Love, and those wide receivers with Josh Jacobs will be too much for the Cardinals to contain, and that Packers defense is talented. So I'm gonna take the Packers here. Then Week 7 versus the Chargers. This one I think could be a very ugly game. I think the Chargers, they have the better head coach with Jim Harbaugh, but the Chargers offense is really lacking any skill position players, and I don't really trust that Chargers defense at all. The Cardinals do have home field advantage. However, I think that the Chargers have one or two more good players than the Cardinals do, so I'm going to take the Chargers here. In Week 8 versus the um, Week 8 versus the Dolphins. The Cardinals defense. I don't think the Cardinals defense can contain Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mostert, Achan. I think the are gonna get burned by the Dolphins offense, and that Dolphins defense is not the worst. It's not good, but it's not the worst. I'm gonna take the Dolphins there, especially with home field advantage. Then you have them versus the Bears. This one I think is a very interesting game. Bears, they are quite inexperienced. I don't really trust Eberflus. Caleb Williams is a rookie quarterback, but the Bears have a ton of talent. Their defense should be better. However, the Cardinals have a lot going for them. They have big home field advantage. Their offense should get the job done. So I think Cardinals are gonna play spoiler here. I think they're gonna beat the Bears. Bears to me are just so inexperienced, especially on offense with rookie quarterback. They can fall into a trap game. Then you have them versus the Jets. The Jets, they're coming off a mini bye. I think their proven defense, will shut down that Cardinals offense, and their Jets offense will do enough. So I'm taking the Jets here. Then you have them versus the Seahawks. Seahawks and the Cardinals play each other very tough. I like the Seahawks offense a lot. I think this one's going to be a shootout. The Seahawks, I think, have a very good offense with DK, with Geno, with Metcalf, with Kenneth Walker. But Cardinals are coming off a bye, and I don't really trust that Seahawks defense too much. I don't see the Seahawks having a great defense. I think their defense is going to be average, but I think Cardinals come off a bye, playing the Seahawks divisional rival really tough. I gotta take the Cardinals here. Then you have them versus the Vikings. I think Vikings talent alone will beat the Cardinals here. I think the Vikings, that blitz heavy defense will cause a bit of problems. That Vikings offense, I think with Justin Jefferson, will burn that Cardinals defense. So I'm taking the Vikings here. Then you have Week 14 versus the Seahawks, I don't see the Seahawks being swept by the Cardinals. I think Seahawks are just too talented to get swept, so I'm gonna take the Seahawks here. Then you have Week 15 versus the Patriots. Patriots are coming off a bye. The Patriots do have a very good very good defense, but they just traded away Matthew Judon, and I think the Patriots offense is worse than the Cardinals defense. I'm gonna take the Cardinals, especially with home field advantage. In Week 16 versus the Panthers, this game I think can go either way. Um, Panthers, they're not really that good of a team, but they did bring in some decent pieces on offense, like Deontay Johnson. These teams could look significantly different in Week 16, but I think Panthers, they have home field advantage. That's pretty much it. Both two teams are trash. Take your pick on who's worse. I'm going to take the Panthers here. Then you have Week 17 versus the Rams. Like I said, Rams usually dominate the Cardinals. I don't see that changing. I'm going to take the Rams here. Then Week 18 versus the Niners. Similarly, I don't see the Cardinals beating the Niners even once. The Niners are just too talented, so I'm going to take the Niners here. So in the end, the Cardinals going 4-13, 1-5 in the division, 3-6 at home, and 1-7 away.